Presented by the all-new Honda Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen. Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by the all-new Honda Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
Welcome to Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, as the Blue Jays and the Astros tee off a three-game weekend series. This has not been a particularly good stop for the Blue Jays here in Houston. They are 5-13 in the last 18 games they've played in this ballpark, but they did win the series last time they were here. In fact, they won 3 in a row here at Minute Maid Park.
They won 3 of those 4 games. That was last August 1st through the 4th. The only series that the Jays have ever won here in Houston versus the Astros. Let's go back to the series that they had right before the All-Star break. Remember that big 4-game series against the Astros? The Astros, at least number-wise, totally outplayed the Blue Jays, and they somehow were able to, in that series, win 2 games, split that series with Houston, totally outplayed. Look at the earned run average. They outscored them by 20 runs. They doubled up the home runs on the Blue Jays. They got a great pitch game by Liriano and a great pitch game by Stroman.
It's a different story now, as John Gibbons recognizes there are 3 All-Stars not in the lineup tonight for Houston. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays coming off a series win in Chicago. They're 6 games under 500. They're still trying to reach that elusive 500 mark. Josh Donaldson hitting in the 3rd spot this season against the Astros. He's 6 for 10 with a home run. Donaldson has homered in 3 straight games. And right behind Donaldson, Justin Smoke's got a 9-game hit streak. The hits just keep on coming for Justin Smoke. During those 9 games, he has absolutely worn it out. 4 more home runs for Smoke.
Blue Jays get Brad Peacock tonight. He's 6-1 in 11 starts this season with 75 strikeouts, 9-1 with a very nifty 262 earned run average. Overall, it's gone back and forth between the bullpen and the rotation for the Astros this season. Peacock was moved back to the bullpen when Dallas Keuchel returned from the rotation. Now rejoins the starters with Lance McCullers going on the 10-day disabled list. He's made just 1 relief appearance between starts. 4 innings at Detroit. That was last week. He gave up 3 hits and had 4 strikeouts.
Houston has been decimated by injuries. They don't have their all-star shortstop Carlos Correa, nor do they have their right fielder, also an all-star in George Springer. So there's been some guys that have had to switch around their defense.
I think Alex Bregman becomes a very important piece to this team over the next month or so. This is just his 8th start at shortstop. He's filling the void left by Carlos Correa, who's on the disabled list with another thumb injury. So he's going to be out. Bregman gets the start at shortstop.
Bautista fouls back the first pitch of the game, and we are underway. Bautista batting .216 for the season, 16 homers and 45 RBIs. High pop-up on the infield. Gurriel, the third baseman, is there, and that's the first out of the game.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report for tonight's starter of the Houston Astros, Brad Peacock. He's been back and forth between the bullpen and the starting rotation. He's going to pitch out of the stretch. He's got a great arm. He's going to use the fastball 51% of the time. The slider is going to be the important pitch for him. Slider, they're just hitting 176 against him. Curve and a changeup. The four basic pitchers you're going to get for him. He's faced the Blue Jays a couple of times, and he's undefeated, winning both of those games, 6 shutout innings last time.
First pitch to Russell Martin is outside. Peacock beat the Blue Jays in 2013, and then he was the starter in that 19-1 game, the series finale on Sunday, back on the 9th of July. Martin rips it to third, scooped by Gurriel. Gurriel has played third base and first base. This is just his 4th start at third base. He looks like he's very comfortable over there.
You know what's interesting about the Houston Astros, it just seems like they've got so many different parts to their team. If they lose a Correa, they can put Bregman in there, who's played shortstop when he was in college. You've got Marlon Gonzalez over at second base. He's played all over the place. Gurriel, the third baseman tonight, shows off his skills with that pick. They can do it in the outfield too. A lot of interchangeable parts with this team.
Josh Donaldson has homered in 3 straight games. He's also hit 6 first-inning home runs this season. In fact, the first inning is Donaldson's favorite inning to hit home runs for his career. He's hit 35 first-inning home runs.
He is getting on a nice little roll. You can see he's on his legs just a little bit better. His timing at the plate has been a little bit better. There's the slider I was talking about, his best pitch. But Josh looks like he's starting to warm up.
Mini 4-game hit streak, 6 for 14 over that stretch. That'll do it. Just 7 pitches for Brad Peacock. He strikes out Donaldson on a called third strike. 3 up, 3 down. No problems for Brad Peacock in the first. Seen his team get off to a great start. They're enjoying a 15-game lead in the ALOS. 30 games over to 569 and 39. The rookie Derek Fisher leading off, and Alex Bregman. He's playing at shortstop. He's got a 6-game hit streak, including extra base hits in 5 in a row. He has really done a nice job filling in for Correa, and then Josh Reddick over his last 9 games, hitting over 350 with a double and a home run. And he's driven in 8 RBIs over those 9 games, and they'll face Cesar Valdez.
This team leads the major leagues in runs scored, so Cesar Valdez got to bring his A game. He joined the rotation when Aaron Sanchez went on the disabled list again with blister issues. He got off to a good start by giving up just 1 run in 6+ innings. That was against Oakland. He followed that up with an outing versus the Angels, not as successful, pitching just 2 innings, allowing 6 earned runs and 9 base runners. He's 1-0 over 2 games against the Astros, with one of those being a start. He needs to be able to keep the ball down today against this team.
Last time out, as Pat mentioned, didn't go so well against the Angels. He delivers a first pitch strike to Derek Fisher. 288 on the season. This is his second stint with the Astros. He came up for 5 games earlier in this season. Went back down, and this is his second callback.
Says he feels a little bit more comfortable this time up.
Bouncing ball. Refsnyder flips to Smoke, 1 away. Defensively, a couple of changes for the Blue Jays in the outfield. No Kevin Pillar. Rob Refsnyder starting at second. Russell Martin making his 63rd start behind the plate.
And nothing against Pillar. John Gibbons was saying, he said, I got to get Ezekiel Carrera into the ball game. He's been swinging a hot bat. I want to keep him sharp, so Zeke gets his 6th start in center field. Kevin Pillar started every game but 7 all season. Today, Zeke gets the start in center.
Everybody needs a little break. Altuve's out for a little bit of a respite for himself. Here is Alex Bregman. We mentioned his great streak. He's on a 6-game hit streak, batting .429.
Improvements. We have seen some improvements from Bregman. Remember last year about this time we saw him for the first time, and pitchers just knocked the bat right out of his hand.
This season he's got 21 doubles and 13 home runs. And he's swinging the bat so well that he's up in the order most of the season. .90 miles an hour with the fastball, and Hernandez is quickly ahead.
A.J. Hinch was talking about Bregman the other day, saying, you know, when he swings at strikes, that's when he has good games. It's when he gets a little bit too anxious, over swings on pitches off the plate.
2-2 now, 1 out.
A lot of that has to do with learning the league, just getting comfortable with the pitchers.
Right back to the mound. Valdez takes his time. 2 up, 2 down. A couple of ground outs. Well, the Astros are in a bit of a funk right now. They are just 2-5 over the last 7 games. They've lost 3 in a row. There are only 2 teams in baseball that haven't had a 4-game losing streak. The LA Dodgers and the Houston Astros.
Isn't that funny how that works? They have the best records, those 2. The Astros come in with 69 wins. Los Angeles with 76.
Hey, here's Josh Reddick. Takes the first pitch strike. Reddick, we mentioned his last 9 games, swinging it pretty good. Only 357 foot, 10 for 28. Ground ball past Donaldson into left field. Donaldson was playing way off the line. He dove and got past him and snuck through into left.
Great piece of hitting right there from Reddick. He's got that average up over 300. It's over 300 because he's going to take what that pitcher gives him. Even though this pitch is going to sink down and away, doesn't try and pull it, just slap it the other way. Get it on the ground, get it into the outfield. Reddick, the undisputed leader of the Astros this season with the game's first hit.
You find it unusual his first season that he has become that type of leader?
I think because he's a veteran and his personality really fits with this team. A lot like Beltran's a leader on this team, McCann's a leader on this team. They're all new players to this team. According to A.J. Hinch, the players are afraid of Reddick. They don't want him getting on them.
Yeah, he's got a little edge to him, that's for sure. A.J. Hinch in the offseason said, I need a presence. I need some veterans on this team to create a team atmosphere. There's a drive deep to left field. Pierce is back. This ball is gone. Yuli Gurriel, his 14th home run. A 2-out home run, and how about Josh Reddick getting that little base hit to keep the inning alive?
Yeah, how those rally start by a little single to left field, a harmless little single. Gurriel just crushed the Blue Jays back at Rogers Center in that 4-game series. Everything he hit seemed like it was hit hard, and he starts this series with a home run. This guy can hit.
He can really swing it. As we mentioned, his 14th home run, couple of RBIs. He now has 56 for the season.
So think about the Astros is they've got some depth. They wanted to go outside, and that's what happens, especially to right-handed batters in this ballpark. It's not very deep to left field.
Bouncing ball to first. That'll end the inning. Smoke steps on the bag. Marwin Gonzalez is retired. But a 2-out single by Josh Reddick and home run number 14 for Yuli Gurriel. A high fly ball deep to left field, and the Astros jump out to a 2-0 lead.
Joe Biagini to AAA Buffalo. We got a chance to speak to Biagini, and he took it in classic Biagini fashion. He told me he wanted to go down to Buffalo and work on his sense of humor. Yes, I don't think he has any issue with that. He also stuck around for batting practice, signed autographs with kids, even played rock, paper, scissors. But all kidding aside, he told me that he doesn't look at this as a demotion or a negative thing. He wants to go down to Buffalo, stretch out, get some starts, and in no time be back up with the Blue Jays. Guys.
Biagini has had a lot of success as a reliever. He made 11 starts this year, and I think the Blue Jays just want to see what he can do if they give him a couple of good outings in the minor leagues to get his feet back on the ground as a starter.
He's going to be with the team through Sunday and then meet the team, the Buffalo team in Indianapolis. Hopefully a couple of starts. He said he's going to work on his windup. And he says it's a lot like we're out of the stretch, but it's going to help me get my rhythm and a little velocity pitching out of that windup. So good for him. He's happy to do it. He wants to do it. So I'm sure we'll see him in a couple of weeks.
Supposed to make a start on Monday and then one more on Sunday. And then they will decide where they're at. Justin Smoke's got a 9-game hit streak. 4 home runs and 9 RBIs over those 9 games. Blue Jays have homered in 8 straight games. It'll be a real challenge for them tonight. Brett Peacock just doesn't give up home runs. He's allowed just 2 home runs all season long.
Good fastball. He's got good carry on that fastball. When he's shooting to the outside corner, it can carry there. And a wipeout slider.
2 balls and a strike. Little broken bat. 1 hopper to Bregman. He throws to first, and Smoke is retired. Brad Peacock is on quite a roll. He has won 6 straight decisions, including 5 consecutive wins. More than 7 starts, he's been lights out.
Yeah, and giving up nothing right here, an ERA under 2. Remember, he's pitching in the American League with those deep lineups in the DH, and he's going through them easily. 187 batting average. The team is 6-1 over those last 7 starts, and here's the stat you were just talking about: no home runs given up.
Andres Morales takes a first pitch strike. You see, Peacock, like Biagini, when he was starting throwing out of the stretch, he began the season working out of the bullpen. Made 12 appearances and then he moved into the rotation. So in an effort to maintain his consistency, he's still pitching out of the stretch.
Blue Jays saw him, like you said, back on July the 9th. He pitched around 5 hits and 5 walks in that ball game. Uncharacteristically a little wild.
Well, that's an unusual slider in that it's a big breaker and it breaks kind of flat. It started on the outside part of the plate and broke all the way off the plate inside.
Can't teach that. You can't go up to him and say, hey, how'd you hold that? Because everybody's different.
There's it again. This ball is hit to left field. Eric Fisher makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down, 5 straight, retired by Peacock to start the game.
Everybody's a little bit different. If he showed me how to hold that and I would try and throw it, it'd probably fly out. Or if you ask a guy to show him that. Everybody's different. Their hands are a little bit bigger. They're a little bit stronger. They might be able to snap their wrist.
This is interesting. After getting 2 outs, he called for the catcher to come out. He had something to tell him. He got a ground out and a fly ball. Peacock was originally drafted by the Nationals in the 41st round, 2007. Grew up in Florida. He was traded from Washington to Oakland in December of 2011, along with A.J. Cole, Tommy Malone, and Derek Norris for Robert Gilliam and Gio Gonzalez. Gio Gonzalez has been traded a lot.
Gio Gonzalez has been with the White Sox a couple of times, the Phillies,
yep,
Oakland.
He's really found a home with the Nationals now. Steve Pearce. Pearce with 11 homers and 32 RBI. Pearce is part of that hot stretch over the last 10 games. It's a good fastball right at the knees. Boy, he's got a nice carry on that low fastball.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's got some carry through the strike zone. Doesn't sink off the plate. It stays right there. Cam did a nice job there of some strong hands, showing some strong hands, framing that one up for him. You know what his fastball has? It's got some life to it, doesn't it?
Basically, he's going to throw fastball and slider. Simple approach. I like the fact that he works very quickly. He's anxious to throw strikes.
He's got a curveball and he's got a changeup. He rarely uses them. There's the changeup.
He throws it for ball 4. Pearce walks with 2 outs. So that snaps a streak of 5 in a row, retired by Peacock. Peacock came to Houston in a deal in February of 2013 from Oakland with Chris Carter and Max Stassi for Jed Lowry and Fernando Rodriguez. So that's how he ended up here in Houston. He and Josh Donaldson were teammates in AAA for Oakland in 2012. In fact, Josh caught him. Here is Ezequiel Carrera getting a start in center.
Well, if he caught him, he should be able to hit him. Right?
Maybe he's better now. Josh struck out on 3 pitches the first time he faced him tonight. That might have been a curveball there at 77 miles an hour. Drops it in for strike 2.
He just throws it about 9% of the time, but when he does, it's not bad. It's a nice little change of pace, if you will, from his fastball slider. All those pitchers are firm. That one, he took a little something off.
And he gets the strikeout. So the 2-out walk doesn't factor in. The Blue Jays get a base runner, but they leave one. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Houston with an early 2-0 lead.
Code MBJ2587 to earn My Blue Jays points just for watching the broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. The code must be entered by 4 a.m. Guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. As you see some Blue Jay fans here in attendance, as we find them everywhere. This is a weekend that's going to honor Jeff Bagwell for his recent induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Tonight they gave away Jeff Bagwell replica jerseys. Tomorrow there'll be a pregame ceremony with Bagwell making a speech along with his former manager, Phil Garner. Saw Phil Garner down on the field and he's all excited about the presentation. This is Carlos Beltran, a veteran. He takes it downstairs. It's a ball in the strike.
He's looking at some of the numbers for Carlos Beltran today. And right now he is third active player in terms of total bases for his career. 4,714 total bases. Third active behind Pujols and Adrian Beltre. He went a little bit deeper in all time. It's 35th. I mean, he's had one heck of a career.
This is popped out to shallow right field. Ref Snyder makes the catch, one away.
Get a home run with any project this season. Home Hardware, proud sponsor of the Toronto Blue Jays.
We are at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Astros have put up a terrific record, 69-39. The interesting part is they've gone 38-15 on the road. They have really played well away from Minute Maid Park. This is Brian McCann. He's had a rough go of it since the All-Star break, and he just won 74 since the break. Reddick, Beltran, and McCann. Beltran and McCann coming in to stabilize this younger team, give them some experience, some veterans that have been through the pennant races and postseason experience.
He still hit 13 home runs and driven in 48 runs, 2/3 of the season, way through the season. Here are the numbers you're talking about over his last 16 games. He's hit his home runs, but he's struck out a few times. I think they'll take anything they can offensively from the catcher as long as you're doing the job behind the plate, calling a good game. And he knows all about that.
McCann has 245 career home runs as a catcher. Reaches for that one, and Donaldson makes a nice pick of the short. Playing McCann to pull, and that paid off right there for Donaldson making the play up the middle.
These two teams will shift a lot. The Blue Jays and the Astros. The Astros shift a lot. That time it pays off. There's Donaldson at the top of your screen. Watch him move and get himself into position. It's always easier to field the ball off to the side like that. You can watch it a little bit longer. It frees up your hands and your arms to be able to pick that ball. It's a difficult play that he made look easy. He's been really fielding the ball lately. As good as we've ever seen him.
Absolutely. And he's been good in the past. So with 2 outs, this is Tyler White who takes the first pitch outside. White just recalled on the 23rd of July from AAA. He was having a bang-up season in Fresno, their AAA ball club. 91 games, he hit .299 with 19 doubles, 19 homers, and 69 RBIs.
They are stacked with good young hitters throughout their farm system.
Looks a little bit like Evan Gattis at the plate, the way the big power hitter squats over, bends over at the waist.
He won the job last year. Remember that coming out of spring training, and then major league pitching got the best of him last year. So he had to go down, back down to the minor leagues.
Not unusual for a youngster to come up, struggle a little bit, go back down the minors, sort out some things, and come back up and have success. He's just 4 for 20 since his most recent recall. It's this one in the air, center field. Ezekiel Carrera waits on it, and Valdez has a good inning. 3 up, 3 down, no problem in the second. We'll go to the third. Blue Jays trail 2-0. It'll be Ref Snyder, Goins, and Bautista when we come back. Shortstop, because the shortstop for the Astros, the All-Star Carlos Correa, injured his thumb.
One of the best in the game. This was down in Atlanta before the Blue Jays saw him at Rogers Center with his left hand. Went right into the knee of Tyler Flowers, hurt that, and then right after the break, that swing hurt the thumb, the ligament. And he's going to be out for a while. They're thinking maybe another month or so that he'll be back. He'll be back in time for the playoffs.
Rob Refsnyder makes the first pitch strike. Correa left that ball game July 17th against the Mariners. The Astros have gone 7-8 since Correa has been out of the lineup. Rob Refsnyder getting the start. It's his high and deep to left center. Marisnick on the warning track makes the catch, and Refsnyder's retired.
You know, if you want to hit a home run here, you've got to hit it from about left center to the foul line. That's where the power is for right-handed hitters. You hit it out into that area, closer towards center field, it's not going anywhere.
This is a pitcher's park where if you keep it in the big part of the field, you got a chance to keep it in the ballpark. And we had mentioned that Peacock has only allowed 2 home runs all season long. It is a good pitcher's ballpark, and all pitchers ask, just give me a place in the field where I can pitch. If I keep the hitters in center, I'm in pretty good shape.
It's definitely in center field here. That's 404. Right about where Marisnick made that catch. 409. They took Towles Hill out over the winter time. There used to be that little hill out in center field.
Ryan Goins. Big bounce for Bregman at short. 2 up, 2 down. Towles Hill was an inclined slope that was in play out in center field, and the flagpole was actually on the field, and they have removed it. They've actually brought the fence in a little bit, and they've brought that bar into play out there, like so many ballparks have opened up that center field area for fans. And now the hitter's background with that big Astros logo, a good hitter's background, but they took that hill away, and it was a little bit of a quirky hill, but it was named after Tal Smith, who was an advisor for this ball club for a long time.
And it came into play a few times a year where a center fielder had to deal with that hill. It was in play. Fly balls, you really didn't have a chance to catch fly balls, but going after that ball was a little different. Talk to some of the Blue Jay people today, and they feel that that background, that hitting background, is a little bit better this year than what it was last year. Remember all the strikeouts we had here in that 4-game series? That background a little bit better where you can see the ball.
Jose Bautista takes it just off the plate outside. It's 2-1. And they popped out to the third baseman his first time up. That's a tough breaking ball.
Late breaker. You see fastball out of his hand as a hitter, and you give up on it.
Pulled, and that's going to be a base hit for Bautista. It went under the glove of Gurriel. Bregman got a glove on it, knocked it down, but it'll be a 2-out infield hit. That's the first hit for the Blue Jays.
If he comes up with it, maybe he's got a chance. He's been playing third base all season long. Now he's got to shift over to shortstop. If he comes up with it initially, but it bounces off of his glove, gets it by Gurriel this time, and no chance. Infield hit for Bautista.
Just the second base runner so far for the Blue Jays. Spears threw a 2-out walk in the second. Martin takes one down and away.
What a nice little swing man, if you will, that the Houston Astros have in Brad Peacock. He's made some starts. He's pitched down to the bullpen. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less in 20 of his last 23 starts. So that's nice. You've got a couple of guys on the disabled lists. You can go down to your bullpen and get a guy who's going to give you innings and keep the opposition off the scoreboard.
They currently have Lance McCullers Jr. a starter on the DL with a back issue. They also have Tony Sipp, Michael Feliz, Will Harris, Carlos Correa, and George Springer all on the DL. So they are less than full strength right now.
We'll probably talk about it over the next few days about the depth of this organization. And it's taken a few years to build that depth, acquire the players that they needed, get them into the upper levels of their farm system. But they've got some depth.
1-2 to Martin. Another slider, another strikeout. 3 strikeouts through 3 innings for Brad Peacock. 2-0 Houston as we head to the bottom of the third.
Action on Sportsnet World. Saturday, Dortmund faces Bayern in the Bundesliga Super Cup. Then on Sunday, Arsenal takes on Chelsea at Wembley Stadium in the 2017 FA Community Shield. It's all on Sportsnet World. Visit sportsnet.ca world and subscribe today, guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. Sean McKenzie with us throughout this entire series. Cesar Valdez gave up a 2-out, 2-run home run to Yuli Gurriel in the first inning, and he has since retired 4 straight. Number 9 hitter is Jake Marisnick.
How about Jake Marisnick? 13 home runs already this year. That represents a career high for Marisnick.
Marisnick originally drafted in the 3rd round by the Blue Jays in 2009 from Riverside Poly High School in Riverside, California. He was traded to Miami, part of that big 2012 trade in the offseason. He came here in a trade from the Marlins with Francis Martes, Colin Moran. And he has found a home. He's a very good defender. Goins makes a nice play out there. One hopper.
Talk about a good defender. There's one right there. Marisnick, you need a good center fielder here. Oh, he was just robbed of a hit by Goins. Ryan's going to get the lion's share of the reps at shortstop, and this is why he can really pick it. Gets down to one knee. Again, he fields it off to the side so you can get down there and follow it right into your glove. Makes it look easy.
Goins, of course, is a Texas native. Growing up in Round Rock, Texas. Went to Dallas Baptist University. Played college ball there. Back to the top of the order, Derek Fisher. Bounced out to the second baseman his first time up. Good changeup. That's a very good pitch for Valdez. He drops down, changes his angle, and he can turn it over. He really manipulates the ball very well.
Changes the arm angle on that changeup. He can also throw a fastball from down there and a slider occasionally. Fisher, the youngster, getting the start at the leadoff position.
Drives that one in the alley in left field, and it goes up against the wall. Fisher's headed for second. And hustle it back in, and it's a 1-out double for Derek Fisher, his second double of the season.
Fisher was talking the other day that, you know, they put me in that leadoff spot, and as a young player, I got to do my job. I got to help out this team. That's a lot of pressure for a kid. They wanted to go inside. It stayed over the middle. He said, I got to start pulling my weight from that leadoff spot. That's a lot to ask for a young kid, but he's a good-looking prospect. And with a nice looking swing right there.
University of Virginia product. Drafted out of the University of Virginia. He played 5 games early in the season, and he was optioned back to AAA. He's led off now 6 times for the Astros. Alex Bregman fouls back the first pitch. Every time the Astros got into a trade conversation, Derek Fisher's name was brought up. And that had a lot to do with them backing off, saying, well, you know, we're not ready to trade Derek Fisher. In AAA, he had .318 with 21 home runs and 66 RBIs.
I tell you, they're loaded with prospects, hitting prospects. AA and AAA young players.
Donaldson knocks it down, bare hands it, and over at first the scoop. I'm telling you what, Josh Donaldson has really played some great third base lately. He knocks it down and then grabbed it out of the air with his bare hand, and once again he gets some help on the other end from Smoke.
And Bregman can run a little bit. Gets the angle. That's a backhand off the heel of the glove. Stays with it. How about the arm strength to get it across the infield, and then Smokey picks it for him. Look where he throws this ball. From foul territory on the run across the diamond, and gets a runner who's got some pretty decent speed. What a play.
Josh Reddick batting now with 2 outs. Runner at third. First pitch strike. Well, you said at the top of the show how Josh Donaldson has played very well. This is as good as we've seen him play defense over the last 3 weeks.
The range, the softness in his hands, the strength in his arm. How about how he, the best way I can describe it is makes up plays as he goes along. I mean, you have to be creative down there at third base like that last play. Should I backhand it or should I try and field it in front of me? And you got to think in an instant.
Two and one to Josh Reddick. Reddick had that 2-out single through the left side of the infield in the first, and he scored on the Gurriel home run. 2-0 Houston. Did he go? Yes, he did, according to Pat Hoberg down at third base. That was a very aggressive call by Hoberg. Looked like Reddick checked his swing.
Reddick didn't think so.
Yeah, he checked it fully. Surprised that they called him for the swing. It's 2-2 now with 2 outs. Pulled foul. Three and two. Reddick, originally drafted by the Red Sox in 2006. He made his big league debut in Boston in 2009. Played the majority of his career in Oakland. 5 seasons with the A's. Ball in the dirt, ball 4.
He just had an 8-game hit streak snapped as a pinch hitter. Got it started very quickly. Second time that he's been on base, and now Valdez has got to face the Blue Jay killer. Yuli Gurriel did it at Rogers Center in that 4-game series, and he started this one off with a hot streak. That is home run number 14. First 2 runs, only 2 runs in the ball game.
First and third, 2 outs. Down in the dirt for ball 1. Home run number 14 for Gurriel. Ball on the strike then. Gurriel is 33 years old. Came up last year, got into 36 games with Houston. He had 262 with 3 homers in those 36 games.
He doesn't normally hit a lot of ground balls. That series back at Rogers Center, he hit a lot of balls right on the button into the outfield. A long home run in one of those games, had a single, scored a couple of runs in that 19-run game. He hit the ball hard.
Two and two. Derek Fisher hit a 1-out double off the fence in left center. He moved to third base on the ground out by Bregman. Reddick walked. He's at first. Well, inside, he fouls it up. George Springer took batting practice with the team today. He's got a quad injury. He's the right fielder in the All-Star team this year. He's their leadoff guy. You put him in that leadoff spot. It's a different lineup, but they don't plan on activating him until Tuesday. He was eligible to come off the DL today, But they said we're just going to hold him back until Tuesday. They have an off day on Monday. Full count. So Reddick, the runner at first base, will be off on the pitch with 2 outs. Marwin Gonzalez is on deck. He'll bat next if Gurriel can reach. Houston has lost 3 straight. There goes Reddick. Fouled off again.
This guy's hacking. He doesn't walk much. He is swinging, trying to drive in runs. He might expand that strike zone a little bit to try and drive in a run.
Ground ball, base hit through the left side. Fisher's in to score. Reddick stops at second. Gurriel has driven all 3 Astros runs. Let's check in with Hazel May. Nicky Delmonico hit his first big league home run last night off Rick Porcello in Boston. So we saw him make his debut against the Blue Jays, and now he's got a big league homer and a big league double.
Nice kid too. Those are the kind of guys that you cheer for. It's been a long inning for Cesar Valdez. That's why Pete Walker went out there trying to figure out how to wiggle off the hook here.
Marwin Gonzalez with 2 aboard. Gonzalez grounded out to first base to end the bottom of the first inning. Switch hitter, Mr. Utility Man. He plays all over the field for the Astros. We saw him play 4 games in Toronto in the 4-game series. He started in a different position every night.
Utility guy with 19 and 61, 19 home runs and 61 RBIs. He's also hitting, as there's a pickoff play, he's also hitting .384 with runners in scoring position. That's how you amass 61 RBIs. That's a utility guy.
Josh Reddick dives back in safely. Goins does a nice job. I don't know if Goins got a glove on it or it hit Reddick.
I think it hit Reddick and stayed in the infield. That's just a little, hey, I know you're out there. Don't get too far off.
It's also an attempt to get out of the inning without throwing another pitch to Gonzalez. 3-0 Houston. Ground ball to the right side. Refsnyder comes after it and throws out Gonzalez. He's grounded out twice, but Yuli Gurriel again with 2 outs drives in another run. Gurriel has driven in all 3 for Houston so far tonight. Blue Jays here in the top half of the fourth. He struck out his first time up, and Donaldson has been on some roll over his last 6 games. He has really been able to connect for the home runs.
You know what this shows me right here? What we're seeing there is the strike zone and where those pitches are. Up and in, up and away, down and in. Tells me that his legs feel pretty good, that he's able to go out and get that outside pitch and hit it hard and hit it out of the ballpark. You try to come in, stays on his legs, he's able to get that bat head through. He's looked so good here in the second half, just the way that he has approached at bats. Timing just a little bit better.
High fly ball deep to left field. Right in front of the scoreboard as Fisher makes the play, and you're right, he just missed it. Got a breaking ball, he stayed back and just got underneath it a bit.
It's all about timing, and you can just see the timing with the leg kick and everything else that it's coming. It's there. Recognizes it, stays back, and just missed it. He knows it. He's saying, I need about 5 more feet, and I would have had another home run.
Yeah, he got underneath and just got the bottom half of it, hit a pop-up all the way to the scoreboard inlet. So Justin Smoke steps in. He grounded out into the shift his first time up. Pretty good pitch. Peacock didn't get the call. 303 for the season for Smoke. 31 homers and 74 RBIs. You know, you see 91 miles an hour from Peacock in the fastball, but there's finish to it. He's got a high spin rate. It's kind of like Jay Happ in that regard. But he drives it down at the bottom of the strike zone very well.
He's got finish. He's got finish to those pitches. Can't pull the trigger on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, which is an average fastball nowadays. So the ball gets on you. So you start your swing a little early, telling yourself, okay, I got to get out there and go get it. That's when he throws that slider.
Missed with that slider. 3-1 now to Smoke. Look at where all those pitches are, right on the outer limits of the strike zone. Doesn't make any mistakes over the heart of the plate.
That's how you don't give up home runs. 2 home runs given up this year. Batter's hitting just 188 against Peacock this season.
Looked like it went all the way across the strike zone, but Smoke takes ball 4. Second walk issued by Peacock.
Tried to cross him up and throw him a 3-2 breaking ball. Thought he had him. But he doesn't get the call.
We mentioned just 2 home runs allowed this season by Peacock. Rougned Odor of the Rangers, Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers, the only 2 batters that have hit home runs off of Peacock. And it's such an important aspect because the Blue Jays rely heavily on the home run. They have homered in 8 straight games, and in their last 10 games they've hit 19 home runs.
Pushing that average over the last 10 games to almost 6 runs a game. Morales was putting on a show in spring batting practice today. I mean, he was launching them in that second deck with regularity. But they weren't spinning it. You're probably going to get a couple of those spinners here.
Ball in the dirt. Smoke has to hold at first.
I love how he went after that ball right there. Like he was going to just caress it and just block it with any part of his body. It didn't look like he was trying to catch the ball. Just keep it in front of him, keep the double play in order.
Morales covering that outside pitch, fouls it on. A ball and 2 strikes, 1 out with Smoke at first. This is the 3 batters that have been so hot lately. Smoke, Morales, and Pierce all doing a great job of coming up with big hits along with Donaldson.
Yeah, middle of the lineup. It's done a lot of damage over those last 10 games. You can understand why Peacock has slowed the game down now, trying to make every pitch with purpose.
And this is where you have to be careful, this part of the lineup.
Done a good job against lefties over his last 3 starts. They've only hit $120 off of him. Neutralizing him with that slider.
Another block by McCann. Full count, 1 out. Don't expect Smoke to be running on this pitch.
This is going to be an interesting pitch right here. Got a 3-0 lead. He's bounced a couple of breaking balls up there. He's run the count to 3-2. Is he going to challenge him with a fastball? Or is he going to throw a 3-2 breaking ball like he did with Smoke? He walked Smoke.
Breaking ball through that backdoor breaking ball and just got the swing and the foul ball. And I think you're right. He still doesn't want to give in to them with that fastball.
We'll call Morales, throw him some breaking balls, and you can get punch outs. Miss with your fastball, it could be 3-2.
Long deep drive to right. Get up, ball. Get up and out of here. Home run, Kendrys Morales. Indeed, it's 3-2, Mr. Tampa.
Middle of the lineup doing it again for the Blue Jays. They had scored 30 runs between Donaldson, Smoke, Morales, and Pierce over the last 10 games. Between them, 30 runs. And there's 2 more tonight. That's home run number 21 for Morales. He didn't challenge him with a fastball. He went breaking ball again, 3-2, and left it out over the plate. He was trying to backdoor it to Morales, and it just leaked right over the heart of the plate, right into the swing path of Kendrys Morales. And Kendrys has hit a few in his career. He knows what it feels like. He's jogging right out of the box.
Steve Pierce, he goes after the first pitch, and it's a high fly ball into right. Reddick moves in and makes the catch, 2 away. With that home run by Morales, the Blue Jays are now homered in 9 straight games. And remember, that's just the 3rd home run surrendered this season by Brad Peacock. Home run number 21 for Morales, RBIs 58 and 59.
Home runs, boy, they can get you back into a game, can't you? Can't they? So fast. Sucked the air out of the stadium too. The fans were getting into it. Now they're quiet.
Ezequiel Carrera struck out his first time up. Morales has made it a brand new ball game. Off the glove of Peacock. No play at all for Gonzalez. So that'll be an infield hit for Carrera. Peacock knocked it down, but took all the momentum out of it, and by the time Gonzalez picked it up, he had no play.
Your initial reaction is try and catch the ball, but if he lets it go, there's a chance that it's going to be right to the shortstop. That was Bregman who has shifted over, and his momentum was coming right down there to make the play, but once it bounced off of the glove, too much speed from Carrera as he legs it out for a hit.
Carrera 5 for 6 in stolen bases this season. McCann has caught just 7 of 45 base stealers, just over 15%. Refsnyder late on that fastball. There goes Carrera. Got a good jump. Throw from McCann. Not in time. And Carrera is able to maintain contact with the bag at second. He slid past it, but was able to hook his foot on the base and stay in contact.
6 for 7 now. Peacock with the high leg kick. Carrera with a straight steal to get into scoring position. He's on, and Gonzalez trying to push him off the bag with that aggressive tag. He stayed with his foot and his fingers to stay on the bag.
Well, the tying run is in scoring position. Snyder pops it up. First baseman Tyler White into foul ground, and that'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays have cut into the Astros lead. Kendrys Morales with a man aboard goes deep to right center. Home run number 21, and just like that, it's a one-run game. They have really put together quite a team now. This is the second of the 4-game series between the White Sox and the Red Sox. Down against Eduardo Rodriguez in that game.
How about the infusion of Eduardo Nunez and Rafael Devers, giving that offense a little bit of a jolt.
Devers has reached base safely in each of his first 8 major league games. 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Nunez coming into this game 13 for 27 since joining the Red Sox. Incredible success. 6 extra base hits, 10 RBIs in his first 6 games with the Red Sox. And a very timely acquisition as Dustin Pedroia goes on to disable this. Nunez steps right in. That is a base hit past Refsnyder off the bat of Carlos Beltran. Beltran with the leadoff single here in the 4th.
Beltran adds to his total bases. What a career he has had. They're going to shift on him, but he's still quick enough to catch to the inside part of that plate and pull it past Refsnyder for a hit. 2,700 career hits.
What a career. Beltran began in 1998, Rookie of the Year with the Royals in '99. He has been an All-Star 9 times, a 3-time Gold Glover, and has won 2 Silver Slugger awards. He's also one of 3 major league players active that began their career in the 90s.
Wow. Adrian Beltre's got to be one of those guys, doesn't he?
Beltre is number 2. And the other is a pitcher.
Jason Grilli, he's 40 years old. Or Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon, he's the third.
Okay, yeah, and it had to be an older guy.
Started their careers in the 90s. This is Brian McCann. McCann, one of the senior catchers in all of baseball. McCann and Martin, their careers have really dovetailed one another. And that's a 4-pitch walk. So a single and a walk to start the bottom of the fourth.
The Honda Checkered Flag event is back. It's the best time to find a Honda you'll love.
We are in Houston at beautiful Minute Maid Park. It is 90 degrees outside, but very comfortable inside with the roof closed. Air-conditioned atmosphere. Had a couple of home runs. Billy Gurriel and Kendrys Morales. There's a ball that's going to be trouble. That's going to be up off the wall. Beltran's in to score. It's over Pierce's head, and McCann stops at third. As Tyler White drives in a run with a double. So single walk double here to start the fourth for the Astros.
In Valdez's last start, he went 2 innings. Started that 3rd inning and gave up 5 straight base runners on base. Pitch on the inner half, and White, a good hitter, bangs it down the left field line. That's going to score Beltran. Ball gets away from Pierce momentarily. With McCann running, they're not going to be able to score him, and just like that, they get one of those runs back. Valdez, in that start, he opened up that 3rd inning, gave up a triple, double, intentional walk to Mike Trout, another single, and then an error, and then a double, and he was gone. It went quick. It happened very quickly.
Matt Dermody is throwing for the Blue Jays. Number 9 hitter is Jake Marisnick with runners at second and third. Nobody out. First pitch changeup. He got Marisnick to chase.
Thought he might try and hit the ball to the right side of the infield there. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. Get him over. Get him in.
Smoke's playing in on the edge of the grass. If he gets a hot shot hit right to him, he can hold McCann at third. Oh, and 2. This is a very deep lineup, even without the 2 All-Stars, Springer and Correa.
And Altuve on the bench.
Altuve's not playing tonight. You're right. 3 of them. 3 All-Stars out in the lineup tonight. Popped up. Smoke will give it a look. It's over out of play into the seats.
His front side is leaking out, Marisnick. So if you throw a good breaking ball, you can strike him out. The front side opens up a little bit too quickly. The swing gets a little bit long. Your head pulls off of it.
There's a gas for time. It's an 0-2 count. Nobody out. Way outside. Boy, Russell just saved a run. Russell's very athletic. He had trouble with his knee right before the All-Star break, but he's been a lot healthier since.
He's in a good position. He's got a wide base. And you're right, athletic enough. We saw him play third base. Looked really good the other day.
Pretty good pitch. Russell trying to decoy the base runners. He tapped the dirt as if he wanted the ball down, but then he gave a high target looking for that high fastball.
That's just in case that runner at second base is giving location.
He just can't get that breaking ball far enough away from Marisnick. Looks like he's going to swing at anything now.
Yeah, he's got him in swing mode. A little slider right off the plate should do the trick.
4-2 Houston. Dropped down and strikes him out. Russell's going to have to go to first to complete the strikeout. McCann stays put at third. And that's going to be it for Valdez. He strikes out Marisnick. Derek Fisher, a lefty batter, is the next hitter. So John Gibbons has already made the call for the left-hander Matt Dermody. Hey, Hutchins, the hitting coach, giving Derek Fisher a quick scouting report. Alex Bregman will bat after Fisher. So Valdez is out of the game. He goes 3 1/3. Matt Dermody's in to face Derek Fisher. Houston with a run in here in the fourth. They have a 4-2 lead over the Blue Jays. Dermody. Cesar Valdez. Dermody inherits a second and third one-out situation, and Derek Fisher will be the batter.
His last game, in fact, came in that Valdez start on the 30th. When Valdez only went 2 innings, Matt Dermody came in and threw 3 innings, gave up a hit, got his first major league win. As the Blue Jays scored the 7 runs. That was the game where they scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Matt Dermody got his first big league win. Got a chance to do it again if he can hold the Astros right here.
Derek Fisher doubled and scored back in the third. McCann's at third, White's at second. The infield is halfway. Bouncing ball. McCann's coming home. Ref Snyder has to go to first. Makes a nice play. Fisher is out. McCann comes in to score. On the play, White goes from second to third. It's a 2-run as Fisher picks up the RBI.
You know, the infield, you mentioned they were halfway because there wasn't a lot of speed on the bases. You're taking your chances that the ground ball is going to be hit a little firm. But this time it bounces in front of home plate over the pitcher. McCann, he's been around forever, reads it perfectly, and he's able to score without a throw. Fisher gets the RBI.
Now there are 2 outs for Alex Bregman, the shortstop. Bregman He's retired on a terrific defensive play by Donaldson in the third. He's grounded out twice.
See, you don't have to have blazing speed to be a good base runner. That was a good piece of base running right there from McCann.
He read the bounce very well. It was over the mound, and he came in to score easily. 2-0 to Alex Bregman. The veteran Brian McCann walked, came around to score. He went first to third on the double by White. Scores on the infield ground out. Dermody making his first appearance against Houston. They've not seen him before. Fly ball deep to right. Bautista's on the run at the track. This ball is gone. Alex Bregman with his 14th home run. He has now collected an extra base hit in 6 straight games.
Been swinging the bat a little bit better of late, so they moved it back up to the top of the lineup, and it's paid off for the Astros. It's in a little bit of a slump. The last time the Blue Jays saw me, he was hitting 8th in that series back at Rogers Center. Back up there, he shows you why. 14 home runs. It's a team that leads the major leagues in home runs. They came into this game with 175 home runs. That's their second.
Josh Reddick singles up the middle.
Doesn't have to pull it to hit it out. Fastball down the middle. The hands went first. The barrel came behind it. And it had some carry to it. Well, it looks like Matt Dermody was brought in to face the left-handers. Gave up an RBI ground out, a home run, and a single, and his night's done.
John Gibbons has called to the bullpen. Mike Bolsinger was up early. Dermody is out. He gets just 1 out, gives up a 2-run home run and a base hit. Alex Bregman with his 14th home run has now stretched his hit streak to 7 straight. Mike Bolsinger will come on to face Yuli Gurriel, who's 2 for 2 with a home run. The right-hander as he takes over for Matt Dermody, who recorded just 1 out.
He's been the long man since he's been back up and off the disabled list. This is his 11th game of the season. He's 0-3 with a .549 earned run average. Mike's last game was also in that Valdez game that we were talking about, that Dermody came in and won his first big league game. Mike pitched 2 1/3 inning that day against the Angels.
Yuli Gurriel He has hit a 2-run home run, has an RBI single. He's 2 for 2 with 3 ribbies. 7-2 Astros. Reddick is at first base. Bolsinger was reinstated from the DL on the 29th of July. He was placed on the disabled list with left knee inflammation. Third ball for a strike.
That's his best pitch right there. That slow curveball. It's got some bite to it. Going to have to mix it up against the Astros. This is a free swinging team. They don't strike out a lot.
Houston has a very good offensive approach. They lead the majors in runs, hits, and home runs in the season, and now Bolsinger walks the first man he faced, Gurriel.
They're the only team with 600 RBIs and at least 600 runs scored. 630 runs coming into this game in the major leagues. The only one. And it's not just that. They can do everything. Average 290 as a team. First in the American League. First in runs per game. Home runs, on base, plus slugging. Of course, they got the best record. They also have the fewest strikeouts. Most home runs, fewest strikeouts. That doesn't happen very often.
Very well-disciplined hitters at the plate. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. He's grounded out twice so far in this game. We mentioned teams to lead the major leagues in runs, hits, and home runs in a season, and it's a very elite class. From the time the division era started in 1969, there have been 5 clubs that have led the league in those categories, and they're historic clubs by many measures. The Cincinnati Reds, a big red machine. They led the majors in runs, hits, and home runs in a season. 78 Milwaukee Brewers, the 94 and 95 Cleveland Indians. They were both very good clubs.
That 78 Milwaukee Brewers team finished 3rd in the American League East.
There's another one deep to right. Bautista's back. This one's going to go. Marlon Gonzalez. A 3-run home run. His 20th of the season. And the Astros have come out swinging in this series so far.
They push 19 across against the Blue Jays the last time they saw them. And they haven't stopped. That was the last time this team saw the Astros right before the All-Star break. July the 9th. They had a 5-run inning, a 3-run inning, a 4-run inning, and a 6-run inning to put up 19 against the Jays.
Carlos Beltran jumps on the first pitch, and that bounces past Carrera into center field. Beltran will head for third. Nope, he throws the brakes on and stops at second. Beltran jumped on the first pitch. That's his second hit of the inning.
That's why we show you those numbers. This team can hit. Carrera is going to try and make a circus catch, but comes nowhere near catching it or even knocking it down. Bautista's got to back him up. That will go as a double.
Brian McCann, he walked this inning. He scored the 5th run of the night. It is now 10-2 Houston. So that closes the book on Matt Dermody. He is charged with 2 runs on 2 hits in just a third of an inning. 1-2 to Brian McCann.
This is a team that have been struggling offensively the last few games. They've been playing Tampa with a great pitching staff and lost 3 games in that series.
The Astros scored 14 runs in game 1 of that 4-game series against Tampa Bay, and then scored just 7 runs over the next 3, and they lost all 3 of those, and they were shut out. Run differential this season, that shows you why they're 30 games over 500. They score a lot of runs, they prevent a lot of runs, and that's what leads to that 161 run differential.
Peacock has been sitting around a long time. This has been a long inning. Brad Peacock was the starting pitcher for Houston in that game at Rogers Center when they scored 19 runs.
McCann pulls it foul. He pitched 6 innings in that game simply because they had such a big lead. Well, the Blue Jays got right back in it thanks to the 2-run home run by Kendrys Morales. It was a 3-2 game at the start of this inning. And the Astros have scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 4th. McCann fouls it off.
Most runs in an inning for this team this year, 11. They did that against Minnesota back in May. They did it in the 8th inning. They put a 7 spot on the board tonight.
7 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks in the inning. McCann takes the 3rd walk of the inning. He has walked twice in this inning. Pete Walker again out of the Blue Jays dugout. Jays pitchers have walked 4 already in this game, and we're just in the 4th inning.
What do you say here?
You got to be aggressive. You got to throw strikes.
That's
you
what I
cannot pitch defensively to these Astros hitters.
1, 2, 3 walks in the inning. You know, probably the message is, hey, I'd rather see them hit their way on than walk their way on. Use your fastball.
Over his last 4 games prior to this game, Mike Bolsinger has allowed 9 earned runs in 14 2/3. He's on the hook for 2 runs and these 2 base runners on base now. This is Tyler White. White started the inning with an RBI double. He started the scoring as he drove in Beltran from second with a double. There's another base hit. Beltran's around third. He's going to score. Tyler White is 2 for 2 in this inning with 2 RBI.
They lead the major leagues in all of those categories, and they're showing you why. They hit strikes. When you throw it in there, they're not missing it. They use the whole field too. You know, when you watch their hitters, they're not just pull hitters. They can use the whole field, and that's what good hitters can do.
Jake Marisnick fouls it into the seats. Marisnick is 0 for 2.
Everybody has scored a run now for the Astros except Marisnick.
Think about that. Everybody, 8 men have scored a run already in this game, and we're in the 4th.
Some have scored 2.
Beltran scored twice in this inning. McCann's at second. White's at first. 8 runs in this inning on 7 hits. There have also been 3 walks. This is a pitching coach's nightmare.
It's not just the Blue Jays. The Astros have been doing this to everybody this season.
There's another base hit. McCann's being waved around third. And he'll come in to score. Marisnik has his first hit of the night.
At this point, you just hope that someone hit the ball at somebody and make an out. Breaking ball up, and Marisnik has his first hit. This is the 14th batter to come to the plate this inning for the Astros.
Derek Fisher, he had a ground out RBI off of Matt Dermody. Dermody's first batter. There's a strike. Two balls and a strike. It's 12-2 Houston. The Astros have scored 9 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. Derek Fisher is the 14th batter to come to the plate this inning. Three and one.
Getting a little antsy to get back out there. That's Brad Peacock. It's been a 30-minute inning. He wants to get out there, stay loose. Needs one more inning to qualify.
Another walk. Bolsinger walks Fisher. It's the 4th walk of the inning.
They've got Aaron Luke up. Pete Walker's on the phone to make sure he's loose. He's been up now for a hitter or two, so he should be getting close. It looked like they just got the thumbs up that he's ready.
Alex Bregman is the batter. He hit a 2-run home run to right in his last at bat. Bases are loaded. Deep left field. Pierce is back. This ball is caught by Steve Pierce to end the inning. Bregman hit it to the wall in left center. But the Astros send 15 men to the plate. They scored 9 runs on 8 hits and blow the game wide open. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Hazel May with Craig Zahn from the Samsung Broadcast Studio.
Super Jays Day. We're calling of our super fans down to the ballpark to enjoy some activities and fun photo opportunities in the WestJet flight deck. First 20,000 fans in attendance will receive a pair of Blue Jays high socks. That is the Blue Jays versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, 1:07 p.m. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. Guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. As that fan is a fixture here at this ballpark with his big, wide handlebar mustache. He's been here a while since this ballpark opened. Wow, what an inning. 9 runs on 8 hits, 2 home runs, 4 walks in the inning. And the Astros, a little bit upset at losing 3 in a row to Tampa Bay.
They left 3 runners on base, too. Yeah, upset. Maybe people are saying, you know what, they've lost 3 in a row. Maybe they aren't as good. Well, they showed that inning. They're pretty good.
Well, Brad Peacock, he had a long inning on the bench, but he jumps ahead of Ryan Goins. A ball and 2 strikes. 30 minutes. That's how that bottom of the 4th inning, that took 30 minutes to complete. Goins gets a base hit. Reddick over quickly to cut it off. A leadoff single for Ryan Goins. Let's check in with Hazel May. Boy, that's a great fit for the Dodgers. Yu Darvish coming over from the Dodgers, and he has walked 1, struck out 10, thrown 99 pitches through 7 innings. Jacob deGrom had been throwing the ball very well, but the Dodgers touched him up for 3 earned runs on 5 hits. He's out of the game. 6-0 Dodgers in the 8th.
Darvish in the National League. Watch out. Kershaw and Darvish and Wood, 1, 2, 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're pretty well aligned right now. The Dodgers, the start of play, 76-32, the best record in baseball. They are 47-13 at home, 29-19 on the road.
Unstoppable.
They have the best run differential in baseball at 187. 2 balls and no strikes to Jose Bautista. Now it's 3-0. There's a strike. Fireworks are scheduled after this game. The Astros didn't get the memo. They broke them out in the 4th. 12-2 Houston. Bautista pulls it foul. Pat, all you can do if you're Blue Jays right now, just have a good at bat, try to put good swing on the ball and get some hits, string some hits together.
That's where you get greedy, I think, as a player. You start thinking, all right, you know, you're down by 10 runs. Every one of my at bats has got to be good.
Bautista hits it to short. Second for 1. Gonzalez back to first. Double play. So the leadoff single erased. The 6-4-3 double play.
You don't worry about the score. You don't worry about the inning. You just worry about your at bats and try and get some hits together. Hopefully something can come of it. The Astros are a complete team. Peacock comes all the way back. He was 3-0 to Bautista, and he gets pitcher's best friend. Ground ball double play.
Russell Martin. Russell is 0 for 2. He goes after the first pitch, and it's a deep to left. This ball is up and off the wall. Martin is headed for second. He'll get there, sliding in safely. Looked like it was just a foot or 2 from going out of the park. Now John Gibbons has come out of the dugout, and he's going to ask the umpiring crew to think this one over. Tony Randazzo is the home plate umpire. He has called for the crew chief.
You know, we're too far away to tell where that ball hit. I'm going on the reaction of Jake Marisnick. when he got the ball back in, he wasn't in a hurry to get the ball to second base. Telling me that that might be a home run. Watch Marisnick as he picks up the ball. He hesitates just a little bit. Crow hops and doesn't really throw it that hard. Almost like he knew that that was a home run, and he was surprised that Russell was still running.
Very difficult for us to tell. There's a yellow line across there, and then the two colors of that wall out in left. Bob Drake made the call. Jerry Davis behind him is the crew chief. So those two umpires are on the headset in communication with New York. And they're having a look at this one, see where it hit on that wall.
That was quick. Home run.
Jerry Davis with the indication of home run. Russ doesn't even know it yet. So now Russell will come around to score his 12th home run of the season.
Just watching Marisnick, the way that he reacted, looked like he thought it was a home run, and he was almost surprised when Russell was still going to second base. So the Blue Jays will take it. They've got another home run. Russell's been swinging the bat a lot better lately.
He sure has, and he hits that home run with 2 outs here in the 5th. Russell had a 2-run single Tuesday night in Chicago and a home run on Monday. A solo shot to deep center field. Here's Josh Donaldson over 2. Peacock has given up home runs tonight, as many as he's given up all season long. 2 homers tonight. That matches his season total.
Doubled that total. Blue Jays, that's what they do. They can hit their share of home runs. Morales' home run, it looked like he got it back into the game. Made it a 1-run game.
Donaldson pops this one up, and that's going to be out of play into the seats. The Blue Jays hit 7 home runs in the 3-game series against the White Sox. They have hit 2 home runs tonight. The 7 home run total in a 3-game series. That's the second most they hit in a 3-game series. They had 9 home runs against Cincinnati in that 3-game series at the end of May.
This is the guy who did all the damage, too. Josh Donaldson had a great series in Chicago, and he's had good numbers against Houston in this ballpark.
He has the highest on-base percentage for any visiting player, with a minimum of 100 plate appearances. His on-base percentage in this ballpark is .483. That leads all batters that have had at least 100 plate appearances in this ballpark, and it's an impressive list. Chipper Jones is second, Joey Votto's third, Todd Helton, and Ryan Klesko. That's the top 5 in on-base percentage here at Minute Maid Park by a visiting player.
And Josh leads them all. Hasn't been on base yet. Just missed a home run his last at bat.
Hits this one in the air to center. Marisnick calls for it, and that'll do it. Russell Martin hits a 2-out home run. But Peacock is official. He has completed 5 innings, and Houston has a big lead.
right now, but yesterday the Blue Jays did enjoy a full off day in the city. It was a well-deserved day off after 20 straight games, and the Jays players as well as their manager John Gibbons took full advantage. Gibbons went home. He has a house near San Antonio. He said the day went a little too quickly for his liking. Though Jose Bautista told me that he got out of the hotel, he went, walked around the city, went to the mall. He said for him it's important on an off day after a long grind to get out, to do something to clear his mind. Now at the opposite end of the spectrum, another player I spoke to said he slept until 1 p.m., didn't actually leave the hotel room till 8 p.m. And guys, that sounds like my kind of day. Get out of bed just for dinner. It's perfect.
Sometimes that's the best kind of off day you can have, Sean, on the road. And now we're going to see Aaron Luke, who makes his 48th appearance. Bolsinger pitched just 1/3 of an inning. He gave up 4 runs on 4 hits.
The question is, when did he get into the hotel room if he slept till 1? Aaron Loop's last appearance was Wednesday. Aaron faced just 1 batter, walked Nicky Delmonico, and then was out of the ball game, so he will get a crack here in the 5th inning. Reddick, Gurriel, and Gonzalez will be the 3 batters he will face.
Inside to Josh Reddick. Reddick's had a perfect start to his night. Single, scored in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and Singleton scored in the 4th. These are the ones you really have to grind through if you're the Blue Jays.
Well, what you're hoping for, this is inning number 5, pitcher number 4 already. First game of a 3-game series. What you don't want to do is burn out that bullpen in the first game. It looks like they're going to do that.
Well, and if you're just joining us, Joe Biagini is not available. He's been optioned to the minor leagues. He will start for AAA Buffalo on Monday. Danny Barnes has been activated off the disabled list. So you don't want to burn through your entire bullpen in game 1 of a 3-game series. Reddick fouls off that breaking ball.
What it does when you end up having to throw so many pitchers in one game, again the first game of a series, you have to start making roster moves and getting some fresh arms up here. And that's the last thing the Blue Jays are going to want to have to do, is make another roster move.
Marco Estrada will start tomorrow against Charlie Morton, and then on Sunday it'll be Marcus Stroman against Mike Fiers. The Blue Jays are coming off 3 straight 7-inning starts in Chicago. First time all season long they've had 3 consecutive 7-inning starts. Reddick has another base hit. A base hit up the middle against the lefty, same as he did last time up. Let's check in with Hazel May. Jaime Garcia made his Yankee debut tonight, and it didn't go well. 4 2/3, 6 runs, 5 earned runs on 5 hits. Trevor Bauer, the starter for the Indians, 7 strong innings. He allowed just 1 run on 7 hits.
Saw a stat about the Yankees a little bit ago, how they've been outscored. Over the last 20 games, that ball gets by Martin and takes the double play away.
So the wild pitch charge to Loop as Reddick goes to second.
Trying to go outside, slider all the way back right underneath the shoes of Gurriel.
Jaime Garcia, we mentioned he made his debut for the Yankees. He was pitching for his 3rd team in 3 starts.
Yeah, how about that?
He beat the Dodgers as a member of the Braves on the 21st of July. Then he beat the A's on the 28th as a member of the Twins. And tonight he started for the Yankees against Cleveland. That's getting around.
I wonder if that's ever been done before. 3 starts with 3 different teams.
That's hard to believe. There was something to the effect. Steve Carlton did something like that when he went from the Phillies to the Twins, I believe, but I don't think it was 3 teams and 3 starts. Gurriel takes another walk.
Last note on the Yankees, last 30 games, including tonight, they've been outscored 122 to 117. Before that, Encarnacion home run. Pitching problems in New York.
Pitching problems indeed. Aaron Judge came into this game batting .164 in 19 games after the All-Star break, and Todd Frazier, who they acquired from the White Sox, has 1 for his last 19. Then the bad news is Danny Salazar and Carlos Carrasco will pitch on Saturday and Sunday for the Indians. Marwin Gonzalez bats right-handed. Gonzalez hit a 3-run home run his last time up. His 20th home run of the season.
He's up to 20 home runs now. The team that leads the major leagues in home runs coming into this game with 175. Correa's hit 20. Gonzalez has now hit 20. Springer's hit over 20.
High fly ball into shallow center field. Carrera calls for it. He makes the catch, and Gonzalez is retired.
Happy 150th to our home and native land. Honda, proudly driving Canadians since 1973.
We are in Houston, Texas for the first of 3 games against the Astros. The Blue Jays won 3 of 4 the last time they were here, last August. This hasn't gotten off to a good start this trip. But the Blue Jays have always had their problems playing here against the Astros. They've just won 5 of 18 of the previous games they have come in here.
Just won
5 of 13.
Just one series, right?
Yep. Beltran hits a 1-hopper to go at second for 1. Ref Snyder back to first. That's a double play. So that'll end the inning. Luke gets out of it. He gives up a single and a walk and nothing more. Been the play of Justin Smoak. He made his first All-Star team this season, and when you look at his numbers after the All-Star game, he is the leader of the pack in the American League in OPS, and it's a very strong list of hitters, and Smoke has been the best of the lot.
He's not slowing down. He put together a great first half. You see a lot of times players, go into the second half slowing down just a little bit, getting into a little bit of slump, but you watch Smokey, his at-bats, they're the same thing that we saw in the first half. Very disciplined at the plate. He doesn't overswing. He's taking what the pitchers are going to give him.
Goes after the first pitch and slices it down the left side.
And he knows right now it's 12-3 in the 6th inning. Peacock wants to go as deep as he can. He's going to be throwing him fastballs early in the count to try and get ahead. That's why he swung at that first pitch. He has just come into his own this year as a player. He was telling me the other day, he says, I feel like I did when I was an amateur, that I can go out there and succeed. I'm not thinking about home runs. I'm not thinking about my swing. I'm not trying to change anything. I know what works for me. I've worked at my craft and I've worked at my swing. I've tried many different things. You know how hitters do that all the time. They try different things. I finally found stuff that worked with me, and I'm just going to go out there and do it.
He has not deviated one bit since he's gotten off to this good start. He just gets better and better each month. And he has dictated the at-bats more than the pitchers by laying off borderline pitches. There he chases a slider and strikes out. That's the 4th strikeout for Peacock.
He's got a better breaking ball than I thought he did. Watching him over the years and scouting him, it's a sharp break. Look at that thing. It started on the outside corner, went all the way through the inside corner.
Well, it has to be pretty good when he's a 2-pitch starter. I mean, that's a pretty good indication. His breaking ball is very good. Throws it effectively to lefties and righties. He left one up to Morales the last time he faced him in the 4th inning, and Kendricks hit his 21st home run.
I bet you he doesn't try and backdoor that slider to him. That's what he tried to do 3-2.
There's a drive into center field. Marisnick is on the run. He is off the glove of Marisnick. Ball bounces off the wall. Marisnick is down on the warning track. It looked like he slammed his right knee into that fence. He got a glove on it, but just couldn't close the glove and make the catch. Good effort by Marisnick.
Told you, you've got to have a good center fielder in this ballpark because there's a lot of room from left center to right center field. Marisnick is playing Morales to pull, gets a good jump, long strides, he reaches out, and it's just off of his glove. What an effort by Marisnick, and he's going to pay the price by slamming into that wall. Looks like with his right leg, but he's going to shake it off. But what an effort. Deepest part of the ballpark, and he almost comes up with it.
There was some give in that wall, but not a lot. You can see the bottom half of that fence in front of the bullpen is padded. But he felt the impact of that crash on that right leg. So Morales is 2 for 3. Here's Steve Pearce. One of the rare curveballs that Peacock has thrown tonight.
Yeah, he's got that in the arsenal. That and a changeup. He's thrown very few of those. With a big lead, he can just attack, use his fastball. Good placement with that fastball. As a starter, he has a pretty high strikeout rate. And you wouldn't think of him as a strikeout pitcher. You mentioned the 2-pitch pitcher, but he's got a very high strikeout rate.
He's 3rd in strikeouts per 9 innings in the American League, behind Chris Sale and Corey Kluber. That's for pitchers with a minimum of 75 innings. There's a base hit for Pierce. And they're going to stop Morales at third base. Pierce with a base hit. He's 1 for 2 so far.
It's a tough part of the Blue Jay lineup right here, trying to go through it for the third time. They might get somebody up and moving around. They've made him work. Closing in on 90 pitches, and it's only the 6th inning.
I think the biggest problem he had to sit on the bench for 30 minutes in the bottom of the 4th while his team scored 9 runs. Pitchers get into a rhythm. Just sitting on the bench for 30 minutes can take them out of that rhythm. Carrera reaches and hits this one over the left fielder's head. It's off the wall. Morales is in to score. Pierce goes first to third, and Carrera has an RBI double. His second hit of the ball game. Boy, that was a pretty piece of hitting right there.
Looked like a breaking ball that he stayed back on. It's not very deep here to left field, so the left fielder is not going to play very deep. They tried to backdoor again that breaking ball, and Zeke slices it over the head of Fisher. Look how shallow the left fielder is, so he plays it right away. Off the wall. Scores Morales, double, second and third. Blue Jays never go quietly.
Well, of course, they had that big 7-run 9th inning in the homestand against the Angels. Rob Refsnyder starting at second base has gone 0 for 2 so far. Tried to check his swing and fouls it back. 0-2 count with 1 out.
Peacock wants that strikeout, so he's throwing a couple of tough sliders. Wants to strand those runners in scoring position. Snyder's had his problems this year hitting with runners in scoring position. Looking for his first hit.
Too far outside. It's 1-2. Snyder strikes out on that inside fastball.
That's pitching. Slider, slider, slider away. As a hitter, you start looking out over the plate, and he crosses him up. Two-seamer right in on his hands, and he comes up empty. Watch Brian McCann slide to the inside, and he hits the glove. Execution. Picks up his 5th strikeout.
Second of the inning. Now there are cheer-outs for the number 9 hitter, Ryan Goins. Goins had a clean base hit to right field his last time up. That slider is tough on lefties, equally as tough as it is on righties.
It's like Dave Steve's slider, where it just woof like a frisbee from one side of the dish to the other.
Swinging a drive deep to right field. Get up, ball. That ball is gone. Ryan Goins continues to deliver with runners in scoring position. That's his 5th home run. 3 more RBIs for Goins. He's got 39 ribbies. Hey, you never know.
You never know. He comes up with those hits with people on base. Getting the majority of his RBIs. There's 3 more. Slider first pitch, fastball right there for Goins. Nice little homecoming for Ryan. He's 2 for 3 with 3 ribbies.
Goins now has 21 RBIs, batting with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. That's his 13th hit in that situation. He's 2 for 3. That's his 3rd home run with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Bautista swings and misses. It's 0-2.
Ryan's also getting very close to his personal high in RBIs in the season. It took him 128 games and 376 at-bats in 2015. Drove him 45. What does that give him now? 39?
39. (12-7). Now the Astros bullpen starting to go to work. A 4-run inning for the Jays here in the 6th.
Tried to guide that one to the outside corner right there.
James Hoyt just recalled from the minor leagues, starting to loosen up for Houston. Full count, 2 outs. Russell Martin's on deck. Bautista strikes out. That ends the inning. But the Blue Jays score 4 runs on 4 hits, capped off by Ryan Goins' 3-run home run. Goins has delivered all season long with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. This is home run number 5. By authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. We are in Texas, and you know what's big in Texas? Nolan Ryan Texas beef. They sell it all over the ballpark, and of course Nolan Ryan, such an iconic name in baseball, but he is really big in Texas.
I thought you were going to say oranges. Those are some big oranges.
Big oranges. Minute Maid Park in Houston. Aaron Loop came in last inning and got a double play to end the inning. Brian McCann, he has walked twice. There's Nolan Ryan, a Hall of Famer. Interesting. You know what happened on this date? August 4th?
Give me a year.
1993?
I do. I'm going to let you tell the story.
Robin Ventura got hit by a pitch from Nolan Ryan, and Ventura decided to charge the mound.
And you don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. Nolan Ryan got him in a headlock and put knots all over Ventura's head.
I remember talking to Robin and asking him about that, and he says, my first reaction was to run out there, and I ran out there and I go, what am I doing? Why am I out here? And before he knew it, he was in a headlock getting hit.
That is funny. Ventura laughs at himself when he tells that story. Nolan Ryan, what a pitcher, what a man. And he is really proud of this organization. His son Reed Ryan is president of this ball club. That ball is going to be sliced fair down the left field line. It bounces into the corner. McCann is headed for a second. He'll get there with a slide. 10th double of the season for McCann.
And with that double, now all 9 starters for the Astros have gotten at least 1 hit. That is the 15th time this season that the Astros have done that, where every starter got at least 1 base hit. McCann was the last. It's also hit number 14 tonight.
Well, and the lefties brought into the game to neutralize the lefties. Matt Dermody, he gave a base hit to Josh Reddick. He got Derek Fisher on a ground down, but then the next lefty, Josh Reddick, got a base hit, and Reddick got a base hit off a loop. First batter, Aaron Face, and now McCann gets a double off of Aaron Loop, and Tyler White, the first baseman, is the batter. White's 2 for 3 with an RBI double. This ball is trouble. This ball is caught. Tyler White, a 2-run home run. His first of the season.
Wyatt was just called back up, and he's making the most of it. He's had a single, a double, and now a home run. He's also driven in 4 runs.
White hit 8 home runs last year for the Astros in 249 at-bats, and this is his first this season. A no-doubt line drive into the Crawford seats in left. There's a shot down the right side. That's going to slice out of play. Jake Marisnick.
Well, when you miss your spots, you try to go outside. It comes to the inside. That's a line drive. And it got out of here in a hurry. Another home run for the Astros.
Well, the Blue Jays got close in the 4th, and the Astros just blew it open in the bottom of the 4th. They scored 9 runs. Blue Jays score 4 here in the 6th, and they get 2 back quickly. Double and a home run. 14-7.
They have 11 players with double-digit home runs. And we are 2/3 of the way through the season.
Yeah, they've got some production up and down the order.
3 All-Stars not even in the lineup tonight. 14 runs on 15 hits in 6 innings.
It's a high fly ball into center. Carrera has room. He makes the catch, and Marisnick is retired. It's the first out of the inning. Yeah, each time the offense has an encouraging moment, the Astros come right back and rain on their parade. Houston's hit 4 home runs tonight.
It's been home run derby tonight.
Blue Jays have 3 of their own. Derek Fisher, the leadoff man. Fisher is 1 for 3 with an RBI. He's also scored a run.
5th at bat for Fisher.
Dominic Leone getting loose down in the bullpen. Fisher's late on that pitch. Goins behind second makes the play to throw out Fisher. 2 away now. Sounded like it broke his bat and went right over the mound, but Goins was shaded up the middle.
Yeah, pretty good pitch. He gets a broken bat. Initially, it looks like it's going to be a hit. The reaction from Luke tells you that's right over his head, but there's Goins once again. Positioned correctly. Finishes the play over at first base. He's having a whale of a game.
Alex Bregman had a 2-run home run in before. He was robbed of a base hit in the third by Josh Donaldson. Made a terrific play at third. 1-1. Aaron Luke walks Alex Bregman with 2 outs. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Josh Reddick 3 for 3 with a walk. He scored a pair of runs. He has 3 singles.
One of those hits off of Loop. This is the first batter that Aaron faced when he came into the game last inning. He also has another hit off of Matt Dermody, another left-hander. Both of them carbon copies. Ground balls right back through the middle.
Broken bat. Smoke will go back and tag first as the inning is over. Reddick's retired, but Houston gets another home run from Tyler White. 14-7 Astros.
case. Milos Raonic aims to outshine legends like Federer and Nadal in Montreal, while Jeannie Bouchard battles a field featuring Venus Williams and Kerber in Toronto. You can catch all that action beginning August 7th on Sportsnet. Guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. Have a new pitcher for Houston to start the 7th inning. It's the former Blue Jay farmhand, Joe Musgrove, who has been put down into the bullpen, and he's fared well since moving into that relief role.
Yes, he has. He's been in 19 games. 15 of them have been starts for this team. He's up to 86 innings pitched. He's given up his share. He hits 101 of them in 86 innings, and the opposition has hit 286 against him, including righties, hitting 306. But move him into the bullpen, and his numbers get a little bit better. He last worked on Wednesday through 3 innings in that ball game for this team, and now gets the first shot out of the bullpen tonight.
He has pitched a total of 8 innings in relief. He has a 1.13 earned run average, and his fastball velocity has jumped up to 96. As a starter, his ERA was 6.12. A.J. Hinch talks about the fact that he has cut down the number of pitches he throws, and with that he's more efficient.
As a starter, you need 3, maybe 4 pitches out of the bullpen. You can get by with 2. He's got a good fastball and a nice little breaking ball.
Russell Martin has hit one of the 3 Blue Jay home runs tonight. He homered in the 5th his last time up.
This is the first time that the Blue Jays are seeing Musgrove this year. Last year he threw 11 innings at him, had 15 strikeouts.
So former #1 pick of the Blue Jays in 2011. Russell Martin hits the ground ball to Gonzalez at 2nd. Musgrove retires Martin to start the 7th.
But he's stretched out. Told you that he was a starter for 15 games. I mean, he can go out there and give you 3 innings tonight. He can get a save the bullpen, save some of those arms for the rest of this series. That's how valuable he's been.
Musgrove was part of that big trade between the Blue Jays and the Astros in 2012. The Blue Jays got Jay Happ, Brandon Lyon, and David Carpenter for Francisco Cordero, Ben Francisco, Carlos Perez, David Robin, Rollins, Asher Wojciechowski, and Musgrove. Donaldson goes after the first pitch. It's a 2-hopper to the shortstop.
Was Carlos Perez in that trade?
Yes, he was.
Did you mention him?
They catch him.
Yeah, those were some of the prospects at that time for the Blue Jays that were getting really close to the big leagues. But they wanted some veteran presence coming back to Toronto. Jay Happ, the main guy in that trade.
And Happ started his Blue Jays career working out of the bullpen, and then he earned his right into the rotation. And of course, Happ is in his 2nd stint with the Jays. Justin Smoke has gone 0 for 2 with a walk. Brad Peacock goes 6 innings. His charge was 7 earned runs on 9 hits, and he gave up 3 home runs.
And he's got a chance to win.
He gets a lot of run support when his team faces the Blue Jays, and he's on the mound. Last time he pitched against the Jays, picked up the win in that 19-1 Astros win at Rogers Center. A ball and 2 strikes on Justin Smoke. We're in the 7th. 19-game on-base streak. He extended that to 19 games with the walk in the 4th. He scored on the Morales home run. And the ball pulled foul. Big crowd here at Minute Maid Park tonight, as it's part of the Jeff Bagwell Hall of Fame weekend. He will be honored in a pregame ceremony tomorrow night. Tonight they gave away replica jerseys. Breaking ball. Smoke strikes out for a second time. Joe Musgrove. Up. Foul tip. Foul tip. The umpire has indicated foul tip. Tony Randazzo, as the Astros were headed toward the dugout. Everybody thought it was strike 3.
Hold the phone. Yeah, the whole infield was almost past the white lines, and they got to go back now. Randazzo said, hold on a second. That was the same pitch that Smoke struck out on to open the 6th inning. Breaking ball down.
You know what? I have to applaud A.J. Hinch right there. That would have been very easy to say, I want to review it, but he didn't. Given the score, it's 14-7. He's like, let's just play it out.
He thought that was a strike, but it was off the plate. And the way that Smokey's season's going, you know he's getting a hit, right? 2-2.
And goes back to the backstop. Now it's a full count to Smoke. And Musgrove and McCann had headed toward the dugout. They were trotting off the field, anticipating that was strike 3. Gets him this time, no question about it. So Musgrove retires the side in order in the 7th. WestJet Rewards. Redeem WestJet dollars anytime, anywhere with no blackouts. Now that's cool. Join today at westjet.com/rewards. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning, and there'll be a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. Danny Barnes just coming off the disabled list. He was activated earlier today. He has not pitched since the 22nd of July.
He was placed on that disabled list July 25th, retroactive back to the 23rd. On the 10-day deal with right shoulder impingement. So Barnes back in for the first time. This is the 30th time that Danny Barnes has pitched this year, and this is where it all started for him last year. He made his major league debut on this mound just about a year ago.
And that's what he did a year ago. Throws strikes. Barnes is the 4th Blue Jays reliever to work this evening. Gurriel chases that high fastball.
Well, he comes right at you. He's not afraid to use his fastball. That sets up his good changeup.
Popped out of play. Aaron Luke goes 2 innings, charged with 2 runs on 3 hits and a couple of walks. drives this one over Pierce's head. It is off the fence. Gurriel is headed for second with his third hit of the night. He's been on base 5 times with a couple of walks.
Hit a home run with any project this season. Home Hardware, proud sponsor of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yuli Gurriel is the older brother of Lourdes Gurriel, who is in the Blue Jays system, currently at Double-A. The younger Gurriel, just 23 years old. In Double-A, starting to hit a little bit, hitting .258 through 19 games with a home run and 12 RBIs. Lourdes Gurriel, 6'2", 185, and he's hitterish. He looks like he's going to hit. He too is a right-handed hitter. He had been hampered by hamstring injuries, first in spring training and then during the regular season in the minors.
Yeah, missed about the first half of the season. In his development, he should come quickly then at 23 years old. In the experience that he has had playing amateur baseball, he should come quick.
37 games in total in the minor leagues between Dunedin and New Hampshire. This is Marwin Gonzalez. His only hit tonight, a 3-run home run in the 4th. That's off of Russell Martin back up the first baseline, and Gurriel will trot over to third on the wild pitch.
I think that one really hurt Russell. And he's not really moving too well after that one. He's given the thumbs up to the home plate umpire, but that one stung him. You see he's still trying to shake it out.
I think it caught him in that right shoulder.
Change up in the dirt. Yeah, you're right. Right between the flap and the chest protector.
The point of that right shoulder. That one goes back to the backstop, but Gurriel is going to hold his ground at third. This has been an ugly game for the Blue Jays. Danny Barnes is the 4th reliever. Cesar Valdez started, went 3 in the 3rd, charged with 6 earned runs on 6 hits.
Every reliever has given up at least 1 run and 1 hit. There's been 1 strikeout tonight by the Houston Astros. I told you they came into this game leading the major leagues in home runs. They also lead the major leagues with the fewest strikeouts. They had 1 strikeout.
Jake Marisnick struck out in the 4th inning. Gurriel with the double, his 30th double of the season. That ties the Astros rookie record. Hunter Pence also had 30 doubles for the Astros in 2007. He has been a very effective addition to this team. He came up last year, and he has become a big part of this offense this season. 3-2 to Marwin Gonzalez. There's a base hit into center. Gurriel went back to make sure that he could score. He comes in now on the Gonzalez RBI single. Marwin Gonzalez has 4 RBIs tonight.
I don't want to call him a part-time player. I think he's an everyday player that plays all over the place. He now has 65 RBIs and 20 homers. It's like John Gibbons and Pete Walker talking about, you know what, we need to save our bullpen. We might see a position player finish this one up. The last thing you want to do after an off day is burn through the bullpen.
Yeah, they have not used Osuna, Tepera, or Leon. J.P. Howell hasn't pitched. But you're right. You go that deep into your bullpen in game 1 of a series, you're really asking for trouble.
You know, let a position player throw. Maybe you slow down the Astros, throw them off timing.
It's like J.P. Howell's going to start throwing for the Blue Jays. Beltran Swings at that changeup. There is Howe, indeed loosening up. I think the one thing you want to do, Matt Dermody only threw 7 pitches, so he should be all right for tomorrow. Bolsinger threw 29 pitches. Danny Barnes, he is fresh into this game. He hasn't thrown many. Goins will flip to Donaldson, who goes back to first for the double play. A 6-5-3 double play. Beltran, second time he's grounded into a double play.
You're in the shift, so you have to practice this. The shortstop flipping over to the third baseman, and Donaldson looks like he's been doing it his whole life. Ain't that easy. Josh playing some shortstop on that double play.
Brian McCann, he has scored 3 runs tonight. Walked twice and doubled in the 6th. Aaron Loup in 2 innings threw 39 pitches. Smoke, a little tricky hop, but he makes it easily, and McCann's retired. But the Astros get another run, an RBI single by Marwin Gonzalez, who has driven in 4 tonight. And Houston has a 15-7 lead.
Mobile app. Stay connected with the game's best players all season long with gameplay, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, stats, news, and much more. Download MLB.com at bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. As we move to the 8th inning, new pitcher for the Astros will be the lefty Ramin Gudwan from the Dominican Republic. This is his 13th appearance.
Gudwan, they're looking for some kind of lefty in their bullpen. They traded for Francisco Liriano. Liriano was in the bullpen last night and lost that ball game. Gudwan just 12 games this season. His ERA is inflated at 6. Pitched 2/3 of an inning on Tuesday. He was recalled from AAA on Sunday. This is his 4th stint in the major leagues in 2017. Looks like he's got a good arm. Fastball slider combination. Can he throw it for a strike consistently?
Their veteran lefty Tony Sipp is on the DL with a calf injury. He was placed on the disabled list on Tuesday. Kenvis Morales has had a good night. 2 for 3, a home run and a double. He's driven in 2 and scored 2. First pitch fastball. Goodwin listed at 6'4", 205. He got a whippy arm action.
And he's young too. Still young.
25 years old. Base hit for Morales, his third hit of the night. Home run, double, and single. Goodwin began his career in the Dominican Summer League as an 18-year-old in 2010. Played his first 2 seasons in the Dominican Republic and then went to the Gulf Coast League in 2012.
They're missing Will Harris, one of their setup man, big hard-throwing right-hander. He's on the disabled list. You mentioned Tony Sipp is on the DL, another one of their arms out of their bullpen. So they've got some young kids coming out of their farm system with a chance to make an impression.
Steve Pearce, 1 for 2. It's fouled out of play. Take a look at the earned run average by the month, and they got off to a great start. Now, Keuchel won his first 9 games, then he went on the disabled list. He lost last time out. But the pitching injuries, Lance McCullers Jr. is currently on the disabled list.
They just got Colin McHugh back. McHugh was going to be one of their big starters. He just got back. He's starting to round into form.
Bouncing ball. Bregman will shovel to second for 1. Back to first. What a nifty double play. Alex Bregman flipped it with his glove to Marwin Gonzalez, who was waiting on the bag at second.
They are not playing with their regular double play combination up the middle, but they're not losing anything. Watch this little nifty play, a little backhand flip with the glove, and then Gonzalez showing off a strong arm. No Carlos Correa, no Jose Altuve in this ball game, but these two, Bregman and Gonzalez, have had a big ball game.
They have both homered. Bregman homered in the 4th. Gonzalez homered also in the 4th. Gonzalez has driven in 4. Bregman 2. And they made a nice double play there. Ezekiel Carrera getting the start in center field, responded with a 2-hit night. His average up over 300.
Started this game at 299. He's added an RBI. He's up to 20.
Nationals and the Cubs, many people think that's a preview of a postseason matchup. Nationals leading that game 4-2. Final in Chicago.
4-2. The Nationals beat the Cubs. 2 first-place teams that could very well face each other.
Bouncing ball. Bregman at short, throws quickly in time. Bregman putting on a show in this inning, starting a nice double play, ending it with a good running throw to retire Carrera. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's all Houston. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Hazel May with Greg Zahn from the Samsung broadcast studio.
Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by the all-new Honda Versatach. Meet our ultimate yard work companion with up to 7 interchangeable attachments.
New pitcher in the game is J.P. Howe, making his 14th appearance of the season. He's back from the disabled list. Howe in to pitch the 8th inning.
He last pitched on June the 3rd before he went on the disabled list. A third of an inning against the Yankees. The veteran will get the 8th inning here, and he's going to have a new battery mate.
Rafi Lopez just called up from AAA Buffalo, taking the spot of Miguel Montero, who is placed on the disabled list. Darwin Barney comes into the game to play third base for Josh Donaldson. Swinging a deep drive to center field. Carrera watches this one go off the wall. That's another home run for Tyler White. The 5th home run for the Astros. Second home run of the game for Tyler White.
He's smiling because he's 4 for 5. He stepped to the plate. He had a single, a double, a home run, and if this ball stays in the ballpark, he has an excellent chance of having a triple. He's hustling out of the box. It was hit to the deepest part of the ballpark. Ricocheted off that back wall. It's a home run, but if it stays in, he had an excellent chance of hitting for the cycle.
His second career multi-home run game. 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBI. The final defensive move for the Blue Jays, Norichika Aoki, is in right field. He, of course, just acquired in the trade with the Houston Astros. That's a fair ball. Barney, long throw in timers. Nick's retired.
You see Barney look behind him. You see what Pat Hoberg, the third base umpire, was calling on that. They'll normally yell it also. They'll give you a visual and a verbal fair or foul. But Barney didn't want to take any chances where he couldn't hear him. He backhanded the ball, looked over his right shoulder to make sure that he was validating what he saw and what he felt was going to be a fair ball.
Back to the top of the order, Derek Fisher. 1 for 4. The Astros have scored off of every Blue Jay pitcher they have seen tonight. Danny Barnes worked an inning. He gave up a run. Valdez gave up 6. Germany gave up 2. Bosinger 4. Loop 2. Barnes 1 and Howell 1. Smoke. Fields and shovels to Howell just in time to retire Fisher. 2 away.
And they've scored in every inning, but the second and the 5th.
$39,287 fans in attendance for the first game of this 3-game series. Jeff Bagwell Hall of Fame weekend, and the ceremony will take place prior to the game tomorrow. Bagwell and some other speakers will address the crowd to acknowledge his induction into the Hall of Fame.
I saw Lance Berkman here. You mentioned Phil Gardner. Nolan Ryan is in the house.
Bagwell was the Rookie of the Year in 1991. He was the NL MVP in '94. Spent 15 seasons with the Astros. Alex Bregman, he has just one hit, but it was a 2-run home run.
He's been robbed a couple of times. Donaldson made a nice play in the 3rd inning, robbed him of a hit. Steve Pearce went way back with the bases loaded. Remember, that was the final out in that 9-run 4th inning. Bases were loaded, and he set Pearce all the way back in front of the Blue Jays bullpen. A hole in that drive.
Sharply hit, but right to Refsnyder at second, and that'll do it. So the Astros are retired in the 8th, but they give up another home run. Tyler White, a home run, his 2nd of the night. By the Honda Checkered Flag event. Check out their all-star lineup.
6th inning, Ryan Goins putting on a show tonight. He's already had 1 hit. We'll make that a multi-hit game with this blast to right field. It's going to give the Blue Jays 3 runs. Ryan Goins with his 5th home run of the season. That is tonight's drive of the game. That home run gave the Blue Jays 7 runs, and they had cut into that lead. I think it was 12-7 at the time. James Hoyt will look to finish this one up. Hoyt just called back up from the minor leagues.
Made 3 appearances with AAA Fresno, total of 4 scoreless innings, and had 6 strikeouts. So he is on as the 3rd reliever to work. Brad Peacock in line for the win. It would be his 10th win against just 1 loss. Refsnyder drives it to right. That's the first out of the inning. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed. The answer indeed, Ken. I've got my fingers crossed for you, partner. 1 out. Here is Ryan Goins, and Goins with a 3-run home run his last time up.
You know, we don't want to give it away, but Yu Darvish was pretty good.
Yu Darvish making his Dodger debut. That was one of the more impactful trades at the trade deadline. Fouled out of play.
Well, they didn't wait. Well, if they had waited 10 more minutes, he wouldn't be a Dodger.
Well, remember, he tweeted, "I'm not being traded."
With about
just a little early.
Like at 3:50, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Trade deadline was at 4 o'clock, 3:50. Tweeted that like he was staying.
One. Now it's 1-2 to Goins. The Yankees lose to Cleveland. The Indians have had some run at home. Owens drives this one to right. Reddick is there and makes the catch. So there are 2 outs. And that'll bring up Nori Aoki. Aoki in his first at-bat with the Blue Jays. Being acknowledged by the Astros fans.
How about that? That's nice, isn't it? Fans giving him a standing ovation.
Very classy. And he responds in kind. Two outs. Goes after the first pitch. Aoki with the Astros hit .272 with a pair of home runs. He's 35 years old. He was acquired in that trade with Houston. It also got the Blue Jays Teoscar Hernandez, who's a pretty interesting young outfield prospect.
Well, that's not what the fans wanted to see. Him getting knocked down. They want to see him hit.
Aoki in the major leagues started his career with the Milwaukee Brewers in 2012. Had a great season that first year, hit .288 with 10 homers and 50 RBIs. He also had a 30 stolen base season. A ball and 2 strikes. Ball in the dirt. Now it's 2-2.
Why aren't you throwing fastballs? It's 16-7. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Hoyt's throwing sliders and splitters.
Three and 2 now. Ground ball. Bregman hits short. And that'll do it. The Astros in a laugher beat the Blue Jays 16-7 in the first game of this 3-game series. The winner, Brad Peacock. The loser, Cesar Valdez.
Blue Jays put 7 runs on the board and still lose by a big margin. Off day yesterday. They came out here, they swung the bats well, they just couldn't defend against this offense, which is the best in baseball.
Houston scored off all Blue Jay pitchers that pitched here tonight. They win it 16-7. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central with Ken Reed.